My name is Mia. I have one daughter who got married the year before last. Her name is Emma. My husband passed away last year, and now it's just me living alone. Losing my husband was hard and sad, but recently I've come to think that I have to live looking forward for both of us. What helped me become positive was hearing that Emma was pregnant. My only dear daughter was expecting my first grandchild. Nothing could be happier. I wish my husband could have seen our grandchild, but now it's up to me to love them twice as much. One day I called Emma. Even though she was in her stable period, being her first pregnancy, I knew she'd have many uncertainties, and above all, I was worried about her health. "Emma, how are you feeling? Anything you're struggling with?" "Yeah, I'm okay. My belly has suddenly started to show, making it hard to see my feet. So I'm just worried about tripping." "Are the stairs okay? Your house isn't a single story, right? And didn't you say you have rice fields? The ground must be uneven." "Yeah, but I'm fine. I'm being careful when I walk." "Really? You sound a bit down, Emma." No, it's my first pregnancy and I'm a bit tense. I'm almost due, and thinking about childbirth makes me anxious." "That's normal for everyone at first." "Yeah, I guess. What it's like to become a mom?" "It's busy every day, putting yourself last. But kids grow up so fast, and later you might think, I wish I had done this or that." "That sounds just like you, Mom. You'll understand soon enough. If we lived closer, I could help more." "I'm really fine. Look, David often comes to check on me." "Right. David is a man who lives near my house. Emma and he were childhood friends, playing together until high school. They saw less of each other after going to different colleges, but they kept in touch. Now, he lives in an apartment near Emma's due to his job and checks on her for me, as I can't visit often. Still, I worry, Emma. You're strong and tend not to bother others with your worries." "Mom, you worry too much. If something happens, I'll tell David, so it's okay." "All right. But don't rely too much on David. He's busy with his work too." "Understood." That's where the call with Emma ended. She seemed a bit down, and being one to keep things to herself, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. David occasionally checks on her, which is reassuring, but I still worry she might be overdoing it. And my worries would come to pass in the worst way. Several weeks later, I received a call from David. It was unusual for him to call me. I answered immediately. "Hello, David. It's rare for you to call. What's up?"
"Mia, it's serious. It's Emma."
"What? What happened to Emma?"
"Emma was found collapsed in a rice field nearby. She's on her way to the hospital in an ambulance now. I'm with her, but Mia, can you come here as soon as possible?"
"Emma collapsed? David, is that true? Oh my, what a shock." I went blank. For a moment, I couldn't comprehend what David was saying, but his panicked voice made me realize the situation. I called a taxi and rushed to the hospital David mentioned. In the taxi, all I could do was pray for the safety of Emma and her unborn child. After a 2-hour taxi ride, I finally arrived at the hospital where Emma had been taken. It was daytime, so the outpatient area was crowded, but a nurse noticed me, distraught as I burst in, and realized I was Emma's family. I was quickly led to the emergency outpatient area, where I met David sitting on a sofa.
"David, what on earth happened?
Emma collapsing in a rice field?"
"I don't know the details. When I found Emma, she was still conscious. It seems Emma was asked by her mother-in-law to help with the rice planting."
"Rice planting?
Emma is pregnant. She shouldn't be doing that.
I agree, but Emma...
What David then told me was almost unbelievable.
Emma, how long do you plan to lie down? Get up already!
Evelyn, I'm sorry, but I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable today.
Oh, yes, another I can't work performance. I'm tired of hearing it.
I'm sorry.
Really, young people these days are so lazy. When I was pregnant with Joseph, I volunteered to help with the housework. Don't just stand there. Get to work. I have to go out now. You're home all day, so finish everything while I'm gone.
Yes.
Here, take this.
What is this?
What do you mean, what? They're seedings, obviously. It's time for rice planting, so get to it.
Me? And all of these?
What are you saying? This is not all of them. Our rice field is as big as a baseball field. There are more than twice this amount.
Evelyn, that's impossible. I can't even operate machinery.
Then plant them by hand.
That's...
If you don't work, you're just in the way. Why don't you plant the rice you eat yourself? Go on, get moving. I'm busy.
Yes, understood. I was speechless.
Though sporadic, this is roughly what I heard from Emma. I still can't believe it.
It's a lie. Making Emma, who is in her final month of pregnancy, do that. Planting a whole rice field alone? It's no wonder she collapsed.
I think the same. I've been calling Evelyn using Emma's phone, but she's not answering.
What about her husband, Joseph? Can't you reach him?
I tried him too, but no response. And there's something else that bothers me.
What?
Emma's mother-in-law is saying such unreasonable things. Didn't Joseph think of anything?
What do you mean?
I wonder if Emma was regularly made to do such things by her mother-in-law and Joseph.
No way. Emma never said anything like that.
Yes, when I visited Emma's house, she never mentioned it. But it's strange. Making a woman in her final month of pregnancy plant rice by hand alone? Joseph must have noticed.
That's true, but...
Moreover, not answering calls from Emma, who could give birth at any time, is questionable for a husband.
Hearing David's story, I began to understand the situation Emma was in. While pregnant, Emma was not only neglected by Joseph and her mother-in-law, but was also being treated even worse, struggling in that house. After hearing everything from David, I couldn't stop my tears. How did I not realize my daughter was suffering so much? If only I had listened more during our last phone call. I blamed myself. Seeing how I felt, David put his hand on my shoulder to comfort me.
Let's just pray for Emma and her baby's safety for now. We can think about Emma's mother-in-law and Joseph later.
You're right. Worrying about that won't help. Thank you, David. Due to the severe physical strain, Emma was in preterm labor. She was also suffering from heat stroke and dehydration, and the doctors said they needed to perform surgery immediately to save both Emma and the baby. All I could do was ask the doctor to save my daughter and grandchild. Then, sat in front of the operating room, hands clasped as if in prayer. David kept rubbing my shoulder the whole time. Then, a long time passed. It might have been an hour or two, but it felt like days in the dark to me. The door to the operating room opened, and the doctor came out. David and I rushed to the doctor. "Doctor, my daughter Emma and her baby!"
The baby was born safely. A healthy girl. There doesn't seem to be any physical abnormalities. However...
However what?
Emma is in critical condition. She's severely dehydrated and her overall condition is unstable due to the cesarean section.
What do you mean?
Emma hasn't regained consciousness. There's a possibility she may never wake up.
No, doctor, that's too much. This is her first time becoming a mom. She can't even see her own child's face.
We understand your feelings and we'll do everything we can. By the way, are you Emma's husband? No, I'm just a friend of Emma's. I see. I apologize for my assumption. Then could you please contact Emma's husband? We need to discuss the current situation and the treatment plan.
We've been trying to call him, but he hasn't returned any calls.
He's not answering his pregnant wife's calls? That's troubling. If you do get through, please tell him to come to the hospital immediately, will you?
Yes, I understand. The situation was desperate. The only consolation was that Emma's child was born healthy. Due to the circumstances of her birth, Emma's baby had to spend some time in the neonatal intensive care unit. Seeing her baby's face through the glass, my tears flowed again. Such a beautiful child, and her mother can't see her. And Emma's mother-in-law and Joseph, who hadn't contacted us at all, I felt an anger like never before. David seemed to feel the same way. Looking at Emma lying on the bed, David clenched his fists. Emma lay silently, covered in countless tubes. I cried again at the sight. Then, Emma's mobile phone, which I had, rang. Hello? Oh, Emma? How did the rice planting go? It's been over 10 hours since I asked you to do it, so it must be finished by now, right? Are you Emma's mother-in-law? Who's this? Aren't you Emma? I'm Emma's mom, Mia. Emma's mom? Why haven't you been answering the phone until now? Why would I? I had a flower arrangement class today. The teacher says I have a talent for it and insisted I come. I'm not interested in that. Emma is in her final month of pregnancy, you know. How can you ignore her calls and enjoy your hobby instead? Please be reasonable. No, it's Emma who should be reasonable. What? She hardly works just because she's pregnant. We're not a wealthy family. We can't afford to feed her for nothing. She should at least plant the rice she eats. So you made Emma do the rice planting alone in this heat? Yes, we need to plant soon to have a harvest, right? And Joseph agreed to make Emma do it. He thought it was a good idea. It's hopeless. There's no point in talking to these two. Emma must have kept quiet about how they treated her, not wanting to worry me. I felt so powerless and hated them so much. Emma has passed away. What? Mia. The Emma you knew is gone. It's your fault. You left her alone outside in this heat. What are you talking about? I then hung up the phone. I had lied impulsively. I couldn't let my daughter go back to those people. Telling Emma's mother-in-law that she was gone was my way of saying they'd never have her back. David seemed to understand why I had lied, and squeezed my hand in agreement. Soon, Emma's phone rang again. Hello, Emma. How did it go with the rice planting Mom mentioned? Even you, slow as you are, must be done by now, right? I am not Emma. I am her mother. Emma's mom? Hello, this is Joseph. Now you call. Excuse me, Mia, may I? Hello, I'm David, a friend of Emma's. Hello. What have you been doing all this time? Do you know how many times we have called? What? Why are you so angry? And why do you have Emma's phone? Where is she? Did you know what your mother made Emma do? You mean the rice planting? Yes, I know. Why would you let a woman in her final month of pregnancy do rice planting? Why are you so angry? You're just Emma's friend, right? Why should I listen to you? This is infuriating. Emma collapsed from heat stroke because of you two. Heat stroke? Emma? She's healthy. She wouldn't get heat stroke. Making a pregnant woman do manual rice planting in this heat.
She was bound to get heat stroke. Plus, you locked the house and kept the key, so she couldn't rest until the planting was done. Why do you know so much? That's our family business. Stop snooping around. I'll call the police. Emma collapsed from heat stroke, and she's dead. Dead? Emma will never return to you. We will never forgive you for what you've done to her. We will take appropriate action. Hey, wait!
David and I began preparing to take action against those two. Emma's phone rang several times, but seeing their names on the screen, we didn't answer. We explained the situation to the doctor and decided that David and I would handle discussions about Emma's condition and future plans. We also asked to be told if those two came to the hospital that no patient named Emma was admitted. After completely cutting off their attempts to contact us for an hour, David and I headed to the house where Emma had married into.
Emma, where have you been wandering off to?
Yeah, Emma leaving the rice planting unfinished. Unbelievable.
Still talking about that? How unreasonable can you be?
Who are you guys?
As I said before, Emma will never appear before you again.
Ah, you're Emma's mom, right? This story again? Emma must be pretending to have heat stroke because she didn't want to plant rice. Hiding with you. Really, what a useless daughter-in-law.
Do you two still not regret making a pregnant woman work alone in the scorching sun?
Regret? What do we have to regret? She's married into a farming family. Helping her husband's work is only natural.
Exactly, it's obvious.
Being pregnant doesn't matter. We don't need people who don't work in this house.
We were giving lazy Emma work to do, making her productive.
Pregnant women need moderate exercise, right? You should be thanking us.
Come on, send Emma back home already. Without her, we have to eat supermarket side dishes every day. It's costing us.
Yeah, she's not a child anymore. Stop being spoiled and come back home. You two are truly despicable. What? This is a serious crime. Forcing someone to work like that is a violation of human rights. What a fuss over nothing. It's just rice planting. Emma collapsed because of that. Don't you two know best how hard rice planting is? Isn't that why you left it all to her?
Well, even if that's true, calling it a crime is an exaggeration.
No, it's neither an exaggeration nor an overstatement. We're reporting this to the police. We might have been lenient if you showed any remorse, but you clearly don't.
Wait. Isn't calling the police a bit excessive?
When David mentioned the police, they started to panic. It seems they did realize to some extent that it was wrong to leave a pregnant woman to do the rice planting alone in the sun. But I had no intention of forgiving them. Because you two don't seem to understand the gravity of what you've done unless you're arrested.
Just sit there and listen. If you want to tell the police, go ahead. There's no evidence anyway.
That's right. No evidence that we left Emma alone outside in the sun.
It's all your delusion.
Really? Is that so?
Unfortunately for you, I have evidence. I recorded our previous phone call and I'm recording this conversation too. What? This evidence will suffice for the police. Wait, we don't know about this.
Let's talk more. Don't rush to the police, okay?
That day, we both had unavoidable errands. We admit we were wrong. Please don't go to the police. It's too late for that attitude. We're going to the police. From now on, the police will handle it. So don't involve yourselves with Mia and her family anymore. We'll also send you the divorce papers for Emma through a lawyer. Divorce? Wait, what happened to Emma? She really collapsed from heat stroke? Is she really dead?
That's none of your concern anymore. You and Emma are now strangers.
Wait! If Emma really is dead, what about my grandchild? The heir to this house?
Please don't make us repeat ourselves. Emma has nothing to do with you now.
What are we supposed to do? We relied on Emma for housework and farm work.
We might get arrested.
Please wait, we were wrong. Just don't go to the police yet.
David and I didn't listen to them. We went straight to the police station and handed over the recorded audio. The police accepted it as evidence, went to their place and arrested them on the spot. I heard the loud sirens of the police cars surrounding the area. They were taken to jail. I don't know how they are living now, but they're probably in a cold, dim place with unappetizing food. A month after their arrest,
Emma, I'm so relieved.
Mom, I'm sorry for worrying you.
Really? I'm sorry. But it's really good that you're safe. Look, this little one is so happy to be held by Mom. So small and cute. Thank you for being born. Oh, right. I caused trouble to David too. Thank you.
No, don't worry about it. I'm just glad Emma is safe.
Thank you.
Emma miraculously regained consciousness and is now working hard in rehabilitation, looking forward to her discharge. Through a lawyer, her divorce was successfully finalized. She also received a substantial amount in alimony. Emma is saving this money for when her child grows up. She's as responsible as ever. This is an aside, but it seems David has secretly developed feelings for Emma. He's not in a position to express such feelings yet, but watching them, it seems that a day of happiness for both of them might not be too far off.